Ladies and gentlemen, TierZoo reaction, and this is the Raptor tier list by the channel TierZoo. Yeah, the Raptors. I saw the owl video from Frank one last time, and then I was surprised the owls are considered raptors. Then somebody said in the comments about there are certain characteristics that makes something a raptor. I always thought raptors are specifically like eagles, hawks, things like that. So yeah, Raptors tier list. This is gonna surprise me because I have some kind of misconception when it comes to Raptor. You know, obviously the owl surprised me, like I said. So what is going to be top tier? Eagles has to be, right? Eagles are the most deadliest raptor there could be. Eagles, probably hawks gonna be there too. Falcons, I don't know. This is gonna be a fun video. I've reacted to TierZoo, quite a lot TierZoo videos already. If you haven't seen them, check out the cards. There's a playlist creator for it. I upload more than 3 videos in 24 hours, so lots of time people don't get notification of my videos. So check out the playlist, you might have missed something. Check out the playlist too, like Only Sarcastic Proxen, Internet Historian, CGP Grey, Kusgazar, Nutshell, and yeah, let's watch this one.
This game has some of the coolest, most unique abilities you could ever think of. From prehensile tails to venomous fangs, it can be tough to choose, but the fact of the matter is, you can't choose all of them. And so while playing, you've almost certainly come across another player with an ability or move you really wish you'd been able to make work with the rest of your build. And while things like venom and camouflage are highly coveted, nothing compares to the jealousy players experience when they realize they'll never unlock flight. While there are 3 currently available classes that
I love that. You know, cat just like, oh for God's sakes, and just falls down.
Can fly. The poster child of this ability is of course the bird. But talking about flight only scratches the surface of what bird builds are capable of. So which bird performs the best in the current meta? Which abilities are crucial to their success? Is flight even necessary to be top tier? Birds are awesome and also extremely diverse. Making an exhaustive bird tier list would take such a long time that I'm pretty sure by the time I'd finished making it, YouTube's algorithm would have left me behind. So instead,
flight ability is not necessary, but it's an awesome thing to have, I guess.
Instead, I'm gonna need to divide up birds into a few separate videos. I'll start with the group I get the most requests about, birds of prey. As a whole, they tend to range from B tier and up, and kind of function as the gatekeepers of the meta. If you know the matchup, use cover, and have good fundamentals, you shouldn't have too tough a time. But if you make a mistake, these guys are built to punish it and punish it hard. At the end of the video, I'll also talk about some of the advanced techniques birds are using to advance the meta. But first, let's get through this tier list. As always, we'll start low and move up from there. So in low B tier, we've got owls. Owls are the premier stealth assassin of the night sky. They've got a special ability which allows them to fly silently, meaning many ground-based players don't really have any defense against this, since they can neither see nor hear an owl coming. Not only does this make exploration at night near impossible for smaller builds like rodents and lizards, but it can even pose a threat.
Oh, that was so awesome. Look at that. Yeah, owl being nocturnal is really, you know, I guess scary to all the preys, right? I mean, they can see nothing coming, and, you know, owls can see everything. So that's awesome.
At night near impossible for smaller builds like rodents and lizards, but it can even pose a threat to other nocturnal rogues, like cats, raccoons, and opossums. While this is definitely a powerful combo, owls are not top tier for a few reasons. First, their stealth strike attack doesn't actually do all that much damage. If the target keeps its footing, an owl player has basically no options aside from retreating. Second, the owl's...
That was eagle, right? Eagle just, you know, sitting there on the branch, and owl comes on attack like, you got to be kidding me. You want to die or something?
Silent flight ability is near useless against bats, because they rely on echolocation rather than hearing or sight. This means they can use their superior mobility to easily dodge owl attacks. If owls had a better matchup against bats, they'd be much more successful and would rise on the tier list. But for now, they're sitting comfortably in B tier. Next up, we've got vultures. While I don't think they've quite perfected the build, they function decently well as tanks. A good tank build needs to be able to accomplish 2 things. The first is area denial, which vultures do quite well. A few of them can easily lock down a carcass, one of the most contested points of interest you'll ever see on the map. They can do this because of their large size and acidic projectile attack. The other thing a tank must be...
Wait a minute, aren't vultures those long neck, weird neck thing, who are giant, basically big birds, right? How are they not high in the list? I thought they were just powerful. I mean, I know they eat dead things, but still, I thought they were powerful, man.
Be good at is shrugging off hits. And this is where vultures fall short. Their thick feathers shield them completely from smaller attacks, but because they need hollow bones to be able to fly, blunt force can easily crush their defenses and take them down in only a hit or two. So while they can defend a carcass from hordes of smaller scavengers, they don't have much counterplay towards bigger, more aggressive builds. If they could potentially even steal kills, and at that point they'd be really overpowered. But until they figure out how to pull that off, they'll stay near the top of B tier.
Wait a minute, I thought vultures were much bigger. Which bird I'm thinking of? They are the vultures, right? That weird neck thing right there, and tall. I guess stand tall. I thought they were bigger. Huh.
Right, so in A tier, things are gonna get crowded. There are 3 A tier guilds of bird I want to talk about, but since they all overlap on the tier list, I'm instead going to first talk about the guild traits, and then talk about what I think the S tier members of each guild are. The guilds I'm talking about are Hawks, Falcons, and Eagles. They're all pretty similar, with a few key differences. All 3 are diurnal ambush style builds, and all are nightmares for inexperienced players.
Yeah.
Hawks and Eagles are mostly the same. Both deal most of their damage using their extremely powerful claws to slice and grab their targets. Hawks are smaller and much.
Look at that shit. Those two are just hanging that out. That it just comes, and grab the one side, other one trying to defend. Like, get out of here.
Using their extremely
Look at
powerful claws to slice and grab.
Like, get out. Look at that.
Hawks are smaller
Kicking
and
it.
much more nimble in the air. Since they can make much tighter turns, this means they're better at dodging obstacles than most other birds of prey. The best hawk build without a doubt is the goshawk. Goshawks are one of the best hyper-aggressive rushdown builds in the game, being able to weave through dense forests at breakneck speed. In biomes chock full of players who specialize in mobility, goshawks still manage to reign supreme. Eagles share just about everything in common with hawks, but trade a bit of mobility in exchange for sheer size and power. Eagles are easily the most heavily armed birds of prey, their sickle claws able to inflict crazy high damage on anything caught in their sights. Most eagles have a wingspan so wide it inhibits them from entering forests or jungles, and so meadows, mountainsides, and plains tend to be an eagle's favorite places to patrol.
I highly doubt eagle can take down kangaroos, right? Kangaroos are big and they're kind of, like they punch things away. I'm pretty sure kangaroos are a bit bigger for eagles.
With the exception of the highest ranking eagle on the list, the harpy eagle. The harpy eagle build modifies the core eagle setup in 2 important ways. The first is that they've got a greatly reduced wingspan, much shorter than an eagle of its size should have. This cuts its ability to soar by quite a bit, but it lets it fly through jungle much easier. The second is that they've got truly monstrous talons, larger and more powerful than all other birds of prey.
Look at this shit.
Not only can they insta-gib monkey and sloth players, but they can even pierce armor. This means that not even highly defensive builds like the armadillo are safe from this jungle menace. Now, a player with little raptor experience might be under the impression that falcons and hawks are fundamentally the same, and while they do share some traits, such as their high aerial mobility, their core hunting strategy is actually fairly different. While hawks and eagles use their talons as their main source of damage, falcons actually rely on their beak. The falcon build augments its beak with a special tooth that deals massive damage on critical hits. Now obviously, because of its tiny hitbox, it can be difficult to actually score a hit with this dangerous beak, so falcons need a way to combo into it. Eagles, owls, and hawks don't have this issue since they just grab using their talons, but a falcon's talons aren't really that great at this either. So instead, they make
So basically eagle is just way too powerful, so it doesn't need to do anything besides using its beaks or whatever the feet thing. While this falcon or whatever he was talking about is more agile, I think it's smaller, so not as dangerous, so it needs to use combo of beak and the feet thing. Yeah, I guess their prey must be different. I mean, the eagles attack specific preys, while falcons, I think they're not as big, so they could enter the jungle, but eagles would have a hard time. So yeah,
make a fist with their feet and dive bomb their targets. This stuns them and makes landing the finishing blow with their beak easy. This is demonstrated best by the peregrine falcon, whose near supersonic speeds allow it to knock other birds out of the sky with basically no counterplay.
Oh, that was peregrine falcon at the start of the video. Yeah, the 220 mile per hour dive speed, right?
Blow with their beak easy. This is demonstrated best by the peregrine falcon, whose near supersonic speeds allow it to knock other birds out of the sky with basically no counterplay. Like I said, all of the standout members of these guilds have a strong argument for S tier, as do the last 2 raptors on my list today. The osprey easily has the best air-to-water matchup in the entire game. It really just feels unfair to fish players, as none of their normal counterplay options work. Their claws go straight through armored scales,
Wait a minute, did he put eagle at A tier, not S? That's surprising.
And even the stealthier fish can be seen from the sky by this build. As an added bonus, the barbs on the talons of the osprey make its grab inescapable, with the exception of the Arctic, where fish players can use the cover provided by ice to avoid getting caught. Ospreys are an ever-present threat. They're successful on every major server because they're just that good at what they do. This last build is, in my opinion, the dark horse of the Raptor meta. It's got an incredibly strong matchup spread in one of the hardest servers the game has ever seen, and yet it isn't very well known, possibly because of its unassuming name, the Secretary Bird. Secretary birds are easily the best option for someone who was a Velociraptor main in a previous expansion. Hunting on foot and in pairs, they prove time and time again
Osprey, Secretary Bird, I never heard of them. They are the S tier, look at that.
that striking from the sky is overrated. It can easily defeat other high-tier builds such as the Cobra and the Mongoose with their high damage kicks. Their stomp move has extremely high accuracy, allowing Secretary Bird players to score game-ending headshots with ease. And they do all of this without completely sacrificing their flight ability. If they ever find themselves outmatched, which only ever happens against builds in higher weight classes, they can still retreat to the sky or treetops. The fact that this strategy works in Africa, one of the most unforgiving servers of all time, is proof enough to me that this is the optimal Raptor. Now, normally I'd expect intelligence-based birds like corvids and parrots to be the ones really advancing the bird meta to new heights, but surprisingly some of the most impressive advanced techniques have come from the raptors. Eagles have been known to eliminate targets by knocking them off of cliffs or mountainsides, and essentially letting the physics engine of the game do the work for them.
Damn!
And several Australian hawks and falcons have been seen intentionally spreading fire, destroying cover and leaving targets without any defensive options. Well, that about sums it up for this video, so thanks for watching everyone. If you're
Damn, seriously man, I mean, eagles are just terrifying, alright? Just grab the deer and throw it off a cliff. I mean, that's just fucking scary right there. I know the secretary birds and other, they are, you know, the S tier, but still, eagles are ridiculous. Just because of their sheer power. Damn. Alright people, that was the Raptor tier list. If you like my reaction, don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out the reaction. There's a link in the description. Check out the cast for the playlist. Check out the end cards, and I'll see you next time.